Hey everyone, Mark from the Dunright Ranch here, sitting in my trailer at Cackleberry Campgrounds. I got here yesterday, had kind of a rough trip. I have Diesel with me, he's down here on the floor. The people that were supposed to watch him kind of bailed out on me at the last moment, or I found out at the last moment, so I ended up having to bring him with me. And he didn't do so well on the ride down. He didn't sleep the whole way. He got exhausted, he got heated, and it was a mess. When I got here, he couldn't even hardly move, which I didn't realize it was that bad until I tried to move him. So I spent a few hours kind of soaking him down with water and giving him drink and stuff, and he slept last night, and he's been sleeping a bunch today. He's definitely on the mend, and of course I didn't, because he didn't get sleep, I didn't get sleep, so I took a nap today too and slept last night. So today's been kind of just setting stuff up and trying to get some sleep and recover. It's a little after 6 right now. Thursday. Frosty 8415 is on his way here. We're gonna go get dinner. I'm gonna meet him, and he's a guy that I've been following on YouTube. He's been following me, so I'm gonna go meet him tonight. It's supposed to rain here in a bit, so we're gonna drive the truck, and then tomorrow I'll get out and start getting some footage. And I don't know what I'm gonna do about uploading. We'll just have to see when it comes out. I spent a lot of time at Sturgis sitting at the computer when I should have been out riding, so I may just gather footage and then put it all together when I get home. We'll just have to see how that works out. But anyway, until then, like I say, today is Thursday, I think the 4th of March. I'm not positive on that, on the date. Yeah, my phone won't bring it up right now because I'm linked into the camera. So anyway, I'm gonna go have dinner tonight. Tomorrow we'll get out and start getting some stuff filmed in that, and then we'll go from there. Till then, see ya. Hey everyone, it's Mark from the Dunright Ranch. I'm out on my first ride. It's Friday. I think it's around 3 o'clock, somewhere in that area. And it's pretty windy out today, so probably just gonna talk when I stop and stuff. So anyway, so this is A1A right in front of me here. I'm gonna be turning left. That's the ocean that you can see out there a little bit. As I was saying, it's really windy, so I know I'm going to get a lot of wind distortion and stuff. I've got to get back to the trailer here in a couple hours to feed Diesel, so I thought I'd just take a quick ride. It started out really cold and windy this morning, but it has warmed up some. I think it's in the low 70s. I'm not really sure. It was like 60 this morning, and I feel pretty good now, but I'm still not 100% from the trip down. I just had a tough time coming down with Diesel and stuff. He didn't do very well, and of course it affected me too. So, but yeah, I'll tell you, it feels really good to be on the bike again. It's been since like I don't know, October or something last year. So it's 35 through here. I don't know what kind of wind noise I'm going to get. I guess if it's horrible, I'll just edit it out. But this is the A1A, which is that Long Island that's just on the east of Florida there. I got water on both sides of me. valley through here. So I guess I'm looking for a place to have a little bit of lunch, and then I'll probably mosey back and take care of Diesel and stuff. But yeah, it feels really good to be on the bike again, man. Holy cow. You know, winter was pretty calm and it wasn't that long, but it still seemed like it was 1,000 degrees below zero and 8 months long. So I'm just not a very big fan of winter, and I used to be, but that's when I was younger. Yep, I remember a lot of this from last year. I still feel like a tourist though this year, like I don't know where nothing's at again. It'll just take a little bit of riding, get familiar again. Oh crap, that truck was awesome. Man, I'm already feeling a little bit chilly. It's really pretty windy. I've got a drone app on my phone, and it said that the wind today was going to exceed 20 mile an hour. And like I say, I think it's right around 70 degrees. So it's a little bit chilly. I probably should have brought a coat with me. Still warmer than it was in Michigan, but and that's all the footage I have. And I don't have the best story of Daytona Bike Week this year, and I'll tell you why. About a half a week or so before I left for Daytona from my house here, I got a hold of 3 different friends to take care of my dog while I was gone, to try to, you know, ease it up so that somebody wasn't overwhelmed. One of them was a guy that lived right here by me. Another guy is, his mom lives right near me, and she's elderly, so he visits her every day. So he's in the area. He's also a guy I went to school with. And then the third guy was just a friend of mine that was going to pop in, you know, each day and just kind of play with Diesel. The guy that lived close to me, I was going to have him come in the morning, put his collar on so he can get, you know, through the invisible fence door out of the house into the yard, check his water, give him a couple treats, and then come back like at 10 o'clock at night to take the collar off and make sure he had water. The guy that visits his mom was going to stop by at 6 every day and feed Diesel. And then I had another friend that was just going to come in each day and you know, no specific time, but sometime during the day, and he was going to come and hang out with Diesel for an hour or two and, you know, play fetch and give him a treat and just give him some attention and stuff like that. Well, the first 2 guys I never heard from. They were supposed to get a hold of me to get a key to the house and to find out the deal. One of them texted me, he was snow plowing, he'd be over the next day, he never showed. That was, you know, midweek. And then the other guy stopped by Sunday night to basically let me know that, which it really didn't matter without all 3 of them doing it. You know, Diesel's my buddy, and there's no way I could leave him here thinking that maybe he wasn't being taken care of. So I found this out Sunday night. I was leaving Monday morning, and it didn't leave me much time to do anything about it other than pack up his food and take him with me. The trailer was totally full, had 2 motorcycles and a quad and then gear and stuff, so it was pretty full. It wasn't packed to have the dog in it or anything like that. And Diesel doesn't like to ride in my truck because I don't have a bench seat or anywhere that he can lay down. I just have captain's chairs, and I know that you can do stuff to make them comfortable as far as hammocks and different things like that. But we're talking Sunday night here about 9 o'clock, and I'm leaving in the morning at 8 o'clock. So it didn't really leave me any time to do anything. So we left Monday morning. It took me 3 days to get to Daytona. I didn't get there until early Wednesday afternoon because I had a couple stops to make along the way, and they weren't exactly on the way. It added about 500 miles to my trip. So by the time I got down there, Diesel was in pretty bad shape. He hadn't really drank very much. He hadn't ate very much, and he didn't sleep at all the whole trip. And of course, him not doing well really affected me, and I didn't do very well from it either, and I didn't hardly sleep. The first night I got no sleep. The second night I got like 4 hours. So by the time we got to Daytona, Diesel was just exhausted. He was panting really heavy. And I didn't really realize how bad he was until I tried to get him out of the truck, and he didn't even have enough energy to stand up. So that made me really worried. I laid with him the rest of the day there. I couldn't even move my truck and trailer into the campsite because when I took Diesel out of the back of the truck, I laid him right down behind the truck. And, I couldn't move the truck or trailer at that point, and I was really more concerned with him than anything. So he appeared to be heated and was just exhausted, so I was pouring water on him, cold water, trying to cool him down, and, spritzing water into his mouth and things like that. And I guess in the early evening, he wasn't really better, but he was better enough that I was actually able to roll him onto a blanket and then pull the blanket and get him out of the way. And of course, the people at Cackleberry this time were not very friendly to me, and I don't really know why, but they rode me about the dog laying there, and I mean they were over there every few hours, it seemed like, to scream at me about something. Now, I was the first one, well, actually the second one in this large camping area that I was in because it was Wednesday. The event didn't even start till Friday, so I was like the second person that showed up. And the whole time I was there nursing Diesel, nobody else showed up either. So it wasn't like we were in the way or anything, but still they rode me, and they rode me about my plug, and they rode me about where to park the truck, and they rode me about the trailer. And it just went on, and it kind of made me mad to where I was thinking next year I wouldn't stay at Cackleberry. There's other campgrounds and stuff, and I would do that. So anyway, I nursed Diesel Wednesday and Thursday. I didn't go for a ride or anything like that. It really wasn't even until Thursday that he could pretty much get up and walk to go to the bathroom and things like that. So I was really scared. I was really nervous that, that something bad was going to happen to him. And so he occupied all my time. Thursday night, I went out to dinner with Frosty 8415. He lives down in Florida, and he's on YouTube, and I'd been chatting back and forth with him, and we've been kind of watching each other's videos and that kind of thing. And so we were going to meet up at 7 o'clock and go have dinner and meet each other and talk and stuff like that. And we did that. And I did feel a little bit guilty while I was gone because, I knew Diesel was not in the best of shape. He was in the trailer. I had the air conditioning on, which they screamed at me about my plug, even though I wasn't even plugged into their pole. I was plugged into my generator. So anyway, I got back Thursday from dinner, and let's back up a little bit to Frosty. His channel is Frosty 8415, and I did meet him down there. And, I don't really want to get into his personal story because that's more his business. But in my eyes, he's a hero, and he's done some things in his lifetime that I really wanted to talk to him about, I was really proud to know him when I found out some things, which I was before, but even more so when I found out, some of the things that he'd accomplished in his life. And so, stop by his channel, Frosty8415. He's starting out. He's got, I think, around 140, maybe 145 subscribers. And he's just a genuine good guy that I think would do anything for anybody as long as it was in his power to do it. So stop by and give him a thumbs up or two. Subscribe to his channel. He's a really good guy, and he's a little bit older, just like myself, and we're definitely video challenged and things like that. And I know for me, what keeps me going and making me want to learn is the fact that, you get subscribers and people like your videos and stuff. So some support for him would be great. He's a really good guy. So anyway, we went out to Red Lobster and dinner was awesome. I love Red Lobster. And we chatted for a while. It was just a really good meeting. He's a good guy. So I got back Thursday night, and I kind of helped Diesel along. He was actually at that point that I could put him on the leash and take him out and walk him and stuff. So I did that. Then we slept again Thursday night, and by Friday he was doing a lot better. He actually had some strength back, and his tail was wagging again. And so I was out walking him on Friday, and or no, wait a minute here. I stayed with him all day Friday because he was getting better and stuff. And I think about 3 o'clock or so, I decided that he was doing pretty good. I had the air on in the trailer. He could lay down in there. Had his water, had some treats and some food, everything laid out for him. So I thought I'd go for a quick ride, and I did. That's the video at the beginning of this. And when I got back, I got his dinner around, and I noticed that he was, getting strength back, and that was good. And I took him out to walk him. And, Diesel's always been a super friendly dog. He there isn't anybody he doesn't like. He's just so friendly. He wants to meet everybody. And I was out walking him, and I had a 25-foot leash to give him a little bit of room, and also it helps me a little bit because I don't have to, be within a few feet of him. He can kind of walk around a little more. And, honestly, he sucks on the leash, and it's not his fault, it's mine. I've always said that if your dog does something you don't like, it's really your fault, not the dog's, because you didn't train him. And that's exactly what happened with him on the leash. I have here he is right here. I have about 16 acres here, and almost half of it is wired off for invisible fence. So he has a large playground. And, I'm not a big fan of tying dogs up. And it's, some dogs in my past, that not my dogs, but when I was a child, I just saw it as pretty cruel. And there was a dog in my neighborhood that got treated really cruelly, and a lot of it was because he was chained to his house and he couldn't really get away or anything like that. And still have those memories, and they're bad ones. And in fact, he bit a couple of the neighbors in my neighborhood because they were harassing him, and he'd had enough, and they tried to run through where his chain was to be brave, and they lost. So anyway, enough of my childhood there. But so I don't like tying up my dog, and that's why I invested in Invisible Fence. And I have the actual name brand Invisible Fence, which there is a difference, and it works really, really well. I've never once had an incident with him trying to leave the area. And there's certainly been, some distractions, squirrels, cats, different things, people walking down the street with the dog, and not once has he ever even tried to leave the yard. So I'm walking him out there Friday night, and a couple girls came walking by, not really from the campsites. They were like from a different part of the campground there, and they were just walking through. And Diesel wanted to meet him, and I wasn't really paying that much attention. And I'm looking off this way, and Diesel's out here. and he starts kind of galloping towards the girls, and like I said, I wasn't paying enough attention, and when he pulled the leash tight, it twisted me right around, and it hurt. And those of you that have back pain, have back troubles, you know when something bad just happened. And right then I knew that something bad had just happened to my back. I instantly felt pain, although I could still walk. And that's pretty common, you know, that you get the pain and you can still kind of move. But then when you sit down or lie down or whatever, the back tends to kind of tighten up. And at that point, I couldn't hardly walk. So I went to bed Friday night. I was in pain. I got up Saturday morning. I couldn't hardly walk. I was hunched right over. I was in pain. And I knew that the more I pushed it, the worse it was going to get. I mean, I've had some times where I was in bed for 6 weeks because of my back. I couldn't get up. And of course, that was before I had surgeries. But, you know, every time it happens, you get those memories back. So I decided on Saturday that I needed to pretty much pack up and come back home because I knew my back wasn't going to get better. Diesel was getting better. But now I'm at the point where my back is killing me. I can't go around the campground with Diesel without him on a leash. And because I never leash trained him, especially once he started feeling better, he pulls really, really hard. I mean, you're leaning back to hold him. So I decided to start packing up. I texted Frosty and let him know that, you know, I'd had some trouble and I wasn't going to be able to stay. And it made me really sad because I've been dreaming of going to Bike Week since I pulled out of Bike Week last year. It was something I really looked forward to. So it was really depressing. I had a couple of good neighbors there in the campground, and it was a guy's wife because he was out riding, and she really helped me with a lot of stuff getting loaded up, especially the heavy stuff. You know, his name was Daryl, and I can't remember her name. I feel horrible about that. But she was a big help in helping me get loaded up, and I loaded up and I pulled out of there like midday Saturday and started heading home. I got home here about I guess it was Sunday night. Yeah, maybe it was Sunday that I left. Sorry, I didn't make notes of this stuff. I wasn't expecting all this to happen. So anyway, yeah, I laid around all day Saturday, and I knew that I wasn't going to get better, so I decided to leave Sunday. I did pack up some things Saturday, and I finished up on Sunday, and that's when my camp neighbor there helped me out, and I pulled out, and I headed home, and I got home about midday Monday. Today's Friday the 13th. Today's the first day I've gotten out of bed since I've been home. I still have my trailer outside. I did get the food out of it and stuff, but I haven't unpacked my trailer or anything yet. I hope to do that tomorrow. But because of that, you know, like I said, I came home. My back's been killing me. It still hurts right now, although I can stand up now. So I didn't get any more footage than what I had. I was kind of expecting to go back out again Friday night, and you know, circumstances as they were, you know, I've been to Bike Week I think 4 times now, and I've had Diesel every time I went, and it was his first time. I've always been able to make arrangements for him to get good care while I was gone, and I would have even put him in like a doggy hotel or something, but I didn't have time to react to that, being that I found, you know, I didn't think these people were going to let me down. They're, say, people I've known a long time, and so anyway, that's the story here of Daytona Bike Week and why I don't have any footage. The good news is, you know, there's a lot of people there with cameras, and there will be a lot of footage. So although you may miss, my point of view, you're still going to see a lot of Main Street and the bikes and the girls and the things that go on there and the beautiful weather. I didn't get out too much the first few days I was down there before I got hurt, mainly because of Diesel being sick, and also it was like 50 degrees and raining a little bit here and there. It was just kind of real crappy weather, and I'm such a sissy to the cold weather now that honestly I didn't even really have any interest in going out. So until it warmed up a little bit, which it was supposed to, and it did. It got warmer. It was only a few day thing, so. But that's why I don't have any more footage. I'm really disappointed. Some of you may be too, and I really apologize for that. But, I can't really change it. I am still planning on making a trip to Sturgis this year, but I hate to say it because of this coronavirus thing. I have some investments and stuff, and that's where I get a lot of my money. And right now I've lost about 70% of it because of the stock market crashing. So I guess I can't really commit to anything until this thing kind of ends here and the stock market recovers, and I'm sure it will. It just has to do it in time. So anyway, like I said, I apologize for not really having much footage here. I was really looking forward to it, and I know from some of my comments people were looking forward to me getting some footage and showing my view of Daytona Bike Week. And so anyway, I guess that's all I got to say. There is going to be a lot of videos on there, so people will be able to see it. I'm just sad that they're not my videos, because I had some plans for videos and some things. I took my drones. I've never really flown a drone yet, because I bought them right as winter was coming in, and I just didn't want to stand out in the cold and learn, but I was going to do that down there so I could try to get some drone footage and stuff, and it didn't happen. So anyway, I'm rambling on here. I'm going to close this out. Like I said, I'll do my best to make better of this with other videos this summer, and hopefully we'll have some good ones, and hopefully I can get to Sturgis. And so anyway, I guess until the next one, I'm going to sign out now. It's Mark from the Done Right Ranch, and I appreciate you watching along here, and I'm sorry I let you down. Everyone have a great day. See ya.